Last year alone, more than 30 countries quietly adjusted their foreign policy frameworks to reduce dependence on Washington. Not through public statements, not through confrontation, but through contingency planning. No announcements, no press conferences, just preparation. Welcome to the Atlas World Report. I'm Atlas Gray. Today's analysis examines why major powers, including longtime U.S. partners, are increasingly hedging against Washington. Not abandoning it, not opposing it, but preparing for a world in which American policy is less predictable, less consistent, and less central than it once was. This shift is subtle, it is deliberate, and it is one of the most important geopolitical developments of the decade. For much of the post-war era, alignment with Washington offered clarity. Security guarantees, financial access, trade stability, and diplomatic leadership flowed through a relatively predictable system. Governments could plan years ahead assuming continuity. Even disagreements followed familiar patterns. That assumption no longer holds. Over the past decade, American foreign policy has experienced sharper swings between administrations than at any point in modern history. Trade rules change abruptly. Alliances are questioned, reaffirmed, and questioned again. Sanctions expand rapidly, sometimes without multilateral coordination. Strategic priorities shift on election cycles rather than generational timelines. For policymakers abroad, this creates a problem that ideology cannot solve. You cannot build long-term national strategy on short-term political volatility. So hedging has begun. Hedging does not mean rejection, it means optionality. It means building parallel relationships, redundant systems, and alternative pathways, so that no single capital can determine your economic or security fate. This is not being driven by hostility toward the United States. In many cases, it is being driven by respect for risk. European states, while remaining formally aligned with Washington, have expanded independent defense planning. Energy policy has shifted toward diversification not only away from Russia, but away from dependency on any single external decision-maker. Strategic autonomy, once an abstract concept, has become operational policy. In the Middle East, hedging has become explicit. Traditional U.S. partners now pursue multi-directional diplomacy, deepening ties with China, expanding economic engagement with Asia. In Asia, hedging is even more pronounced. Countries that rely on U.S. security guarantees are simultaneously expanding trade, infrastructure, and financial integration with China and regional partners. This is not contradiction. It is insurance. Governments are ensuring that alignment in one domain does not translate into vulnerability in another. Even nations historically closest to Washington have begun designing policies that assume American attention may shift suddenly, or not arrive at all. What unites these moves is not ideology, it is experience. Recent years have taught global leaders that American policy can reverse quickly, sometimes without warning. Decisions taken by one administration may be dismantled by the next. From trade agreements to climate commitments to security arrangements, the lesson has been internalized. Do not over-centralize your future. This is why hedging has focused on systems rather than statements. Trade agreements increasingly include clauses allowing settlement outside traditional dollar channels. Defense cooperation increasingly includes regional frameworks. Financial reserves are diversified. Supply chains are rerouted. These moves rarely make headlines because they are designed not to provoke reaction. They are designed to reduce exposure, and they are accelerating. At this point, it's important to clarify what hedging against Washington does not mean. It does not mean that the United States has lost influence. It does not mean alliances are collapsing. It does not mean global leadership has vanished. It means influence is being recalibrated. The world is no longer organized around the assumption that one capital will always provide stability. Instead, stability is being constructed through redundancy. Multiple partners, multiple systems, multiple paths forward. This is the logic of a multipolar environment. As this shift deepens, Washington faces a paradox. The tools that once reinforced leadership, sanctions, pressure, conditional access, now accelerate hedging when overused. The more frequently leverage is applied, the more valuable alternatives become. This does not weaken American power overnight, but it changes how that power is perceived and managed. Perception matters. When partners begin planning around you instead of with you, the system is already evolving. As hedging becomes normalized, global diplomacy begins to resemble a network rather than a hierarchy. Influence flows through multiple channels. For Washington, this represents a strategic inflection point. The United States remains a central actor, but centrality is no longer guaranteed by position alone. It must be reinforced through predictability, reliability, and restraint. Major powers are not waiting to see how this resolves. They are planning as if volatility will continue. That planning will shape the next decade. Global power is not disappearing. It is being redistributed, quietly, methodically, intentionally. Those who recognize this early will adapt smoothly. Those who dismiss it may find themselves reacting instead of leading. I'm Atlas Gray. This is the Atlas World Report. Stay informed, stay aware, and stay prepared for the world that's coming next.